Now, we've spoken a lot about toys, we've spoken a lot about shoes. Now we're going to move into a realm which is very close to Culture Cartel's heart as well. It is music. We love music. The music industry has been hit terribly hard by COVID as well. You know, there are no more live performances, gigs, concerts. Everything's been put on hold. But obviously, this has forced people of many different entertainment industries to be creative and to find new and constructive ways to still create things or to find a way to motivate one another. And I think this is such a beautiful chat that we're going to be having with some of these incredible, beautiful, inspiring people. And I'm so excited to invite them up here. So, we've got a panel discussion, and joining us today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say give them a round of applause, but it's not like we can hear them here anyway, but give them a round of applause and you'll feel good for yourself because you're supporting people in the music industry. Presenting Zaran Vacha of Collective Minds, known for boundary pushing acts. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Next up, we've got Wayne Lee, OG of Juice Magazine.
OG.
Currently
Hi.
General Manager of Zouk Singapore. Whoop, whoop. I know lots of cycling happening in Zouk right now.
Yep.
Have you been joining?
Trying.
Don't lie.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we've got Singapore Idol finalist Daphne Khoo, who has just returned from the US. Hi, Daph. You returned with pink hair, pink orange hair. I like it.
Thank you.
You look like the LA sunset.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
No, you're right.
I like it. I see that was
Inspired by.
the thing you went for. Next up, we have Mr. John Chua, formerly of the Sam Willows and currently head honcho of music agency and local label Zendel Records. And of course, last but not least, moderating our session for today will be the beautiful Audrey Lim, who has dedicated the last decade to exploring every facet of the entertainment industry with experiences ranging from radio presentation.
Just come through.
Come through, baby. Come
It's a
through.
long one.
Documentary hosting, stage work, music performance, music management. The list goes on. I can't read it all.
No.
But enjoy, guys. You're all beautiful people. Take it away.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carla. Big round of applause for Carla. So yes, thank you.
All right.
Thank you all for joining us at the first panel discussion of the very first digital version of Culture Cartel. I'm joined with a star-studded panel. I know Carla already did their introductions once, but I'll do it once more because these people are worth it. Ladies first, we have in the center Daphne Khoo, also known as Haneri, better known now. So she's a singer-songwriter. You might know her at home from Singapore Idol, but she has since spread her wings, popped over to the US side where she works with Grammy-nominated artists. After going to West Grand Boulevard, she was also with Power 98 as a DJ. She's a Berkeley graduate, she's a producer, she's a Twitch DJ, she's an inspirational survivor and a global citizen with roots in Australia, Singapore, and both coasts of the US. I don't know how she catches her breath with all of that. We also have, from the left now, Zaran Vasha, cross-cultural like Daphne. You have lived and worked in, Hong Kong and London and Nottingham, and now you're in Singapore. You're a promoter, you're the co-founder of Collective Minds, you are a community builder, a venue owner, 222 Arts Club, right? How's that going?
It's going.
It's going? Okay, we'll talk
Still
about...
paying rent. You know.
We'll talk oh no, the rent issue. Already.
Rent, yeah.
Someone who also knows a little bit about rent still going amid times of COVID, we have the general manager of Zouk, the former music director, the former editor-in-chief of Juice Magazine, maven of fashion, music, art, nightlife, and master selector, DJ Wayne Lee.
Long time.
It has been a minute. And closest to me, we have the person who came into consciousness as what has been described as the most famous pop group in Singapore, who went on to found Zendel Productions, founder of Zendel Records, and keeping the flames burning as a solo artist is John Chua. So now that we've introduced them twice, so you definitely know them, right? Zaran, you started out playing parties when you were at school, and then you were packing out venues on weeknights, right? And eventually you realized that this, what began as a side hustle at school, was actually earning you more money than what a real job that you got right out of school was going to get you. So what do you think, since you've been in this for a good long while, what do you think is the most significant way that the music punter landscape has changed in, let's say, the past year compared to when you started?
Maybe you can't go watch music live. Oh, from where I started, or
Yes.
like during COVID times.
Well, from the past times before COVID, and then obviously like COVID has
I mean, COVID
ruin
obviously spoiled
things.
everything, right? It
Yes.
ruined everything, right? You know, I mean, before COVID, especially in Singapore, we're able to see like concerts like all the time. We're able to go enjoy ourselves, right? Like go to a party, like go see a DJ. Obviously, go to Zouk all the time. You know, see John in concert, see you guys in concert, right? But you know, like we're consuming music in a very different way now. You know, obviously we're streaming, we're watching virtual concerts. Like it's kind of pushed that. It pushed like virtual concerts and like viewing like concerts online to the forefront, right? Like a lot earlier than we thought it was ever going to happen, right? We knew that was going to happen, and we knew like people consuming things on their iPads and their phones and their experiences outside was coming less and less, but we didn't know it was going to happen straight away, right? And we were preparing for that, but like now we're all virtual event producers, like all of us, right? So that's how it's changed. Yeah.
It's a big dip considering that we knew that we were moving in this direction, but like you said, poof, overnight, you just had to.
We did 200 concerts last year, right? Live concerts, like around Asia. Like this year, I think we've done 2, right? We might do another 2 by the end of the year, hopefully. You know, it's a massive shock to the system, right? And we've had to change and adapt. But you know, we're still alive. We're all still here, right? And we're still going to keep pushing.
And we're going to celebrate that pushing. But pushing along to Wayne, you've played all sides of the media game as a consumer, as a DJ, as the editor-in-chief of the street culture magazine Juice, and then shaping the Singapore club culture landscape as the entertainment director and now general manager of Zouk. So which is your favorite role of all these different hats that you've had on? And what is the biggest evolutionary trend that you've seen in the industry?
I mean, for me, like, interestingly, I have to be really politically correct and go like, you know, I love all my roles. Yeah, but I think, to be fair, I think that the role with Juice was actually, to me, my most interesting role.
Right.
Yeah, I came in young, you know, I started work really young at like 22 as well, you know. Yeah. And basically, I think back then there was no digital sphere, right? It was completely like print was really it, right? I had to pick up like magazines, like from overseas, like Japan, from UK music magazines, to kind of like steal ideas and then transport them to our local magazine and share with the audiences. Thank God we gave it out free. Before Instagram, there was Juice, right?
It's not steal,
it's still inspired. And we used to like carry magazines and distribute them at like, you know, sneaker stores, at cafes, you know. Yeah. So that was my greatest role because I felt back then, obviously, things were a little bit more raw. Even when it came to music, talking about music now, it was a lot more like, you know, old school digging of crates to find records, queuing out HNV to buy these records. You know, to DJ.
I remember that.
So now everything is on your phones, right, guys? Just feel bored.
And everyone's a DJ.
Everyone's a DJ. Yeah. So I always look back to that time and go like, I do miss it. Yeah, I really do.
Halcyon days. So do you think things are lost now that we're moving everything onto a digital space and you're not physically touching the 12 inches anymore, you're not physically touching CDs and magazines?
I don't think anything's
Not
lost.
dirty lah, John. 12 inches, someone start
No
Googling.
stress, no stress.
I looked at Zarin and Zarin looked at me.
You shouldn't even look at me. I'm not the dirty uncle
Yeah, we
here,
all
okay,
say,
please.
Yeah, I don't think anything's lost.
Right.
I just feel that, I mean, we have to progress and adapt as a human race, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we move on. I mean, essentially, like, I mean, even magazines, I just spent like circuit breaker throwing out like maybe like 5 stacks of magazines. That was in my room for 10 years. Okay, it's time, you know.
So sad.
Goodbye, all these old like music mags. I think it's nothing has really like, I think everything has moved positively, I feel. At least now with the digital kind of like landscape, we can all reach out to audiences much better. And especially for Singapore, I mean, a small tiny dot. And the fact that, you know, right now with this whole like digital landscape, you know, a small tiny dot or like, you know, talent, like people around me, they can finally reach out to a much wider audience, like what Daphne did stuff. So I think it's positive change, to be honest.
That's really, really good to hear that we're finding like the joy in the bits that are a bit scruffy. But exactly building on the point that you just said about how Daphne has managed to reach across to like different segments of society. So Daphne, you have played on multiple platforms and across various spaces. So in the back room, you do like the songwriting and you play major stages. And then now you've conquered Insta stories and most recently Twitch, right? So how did coronavirus challenge you, especially when it comes to, like what Wayne said, keeping in touch with fans on both sides of the world? How do you do that?
I haven't lived in like one place for a long time, in like 12 years maybe, and I think it's I've been really, really blessed and lucky to have had people, you know, from where I started in Singapore, continue to follow what it is that I do, and it does continue to become challenging when you find a new audience to keep the old audience as well, especially with the fact that my music keeps evolving and changing. But I think the most important thing to me is that I continue to be genuine and the thing that I've learned wherever I've lived is, you know, if you mean what it is you're singing or writing, then people will listen. And I think that's been the most encouraging thing to me. Your audience is always out there, and the internet has made it more accessible, but it's also allowed people to be a lot more disgenuine with what they put out.
Right.
Because it's like, this is what people want to hear, and they get inspired by other people instead of really spending time with themselves to figure out what message it is that they want to send, or what sound it is that inspires them instead of what's hip and what's cool. Because really what makes real changes in the culture of music is culture. And if you're not in it and you're just following the rules, you just make whatever everyone's making. And what is unique about all of us as artists and creators is that we are different. And if we embrace that, I think no matter what it is, traditional media, new media, if you focus on who you're giving that message to, I think then you'll always feel successful. You'll always feel like you're doing the right thing. And I feel like that's what's been the most important for me.
So authenticity is the name of the game, and that's the direction that I think, John, you've been swimming in as well, because you've always planned to build an ASEAN community with Zendel. And with all our plans for 2020 being put on ice, as Zaran alluded to earlier, what would you count as your biggest success and your biggest failure as a label during this COVID year?
I think for Zendel, it was trying to figure out what the business model was going to be moving forward. You know, so on one hand, we wanted to build local culture, but on the other hand, we know that it can't just be done with us alone.
Right.
So, you know, over the last 2 years, I've been spending a lot of time in the Philippines, in Korea, in LA, in Thailand, actually studying how they're actually doing it.
Right.
And the beauty of it is actually when it came to COVID-19, you know, music production actually opened up because no artist can do shows. So everyone's like, okay, I guess it's time for me to work on mix stuff, you know. And I think because of that, you know, it kind of hit the reset button for a lot of things, you know, especially for collaborations. You know, so I think like a lot of Korean acts were actually open to getting songs in from Singapore, from Sweden, you know, from even Japan. So I think, yeah, you know, the greatest success for me was actually still keeping the business alive. And in fact, we started different portfolios as well, and we hired about another 3 or 4 more hits. So I think it's a good thing, you know, that, you know, there's still some sort of progress. There's still support from the government side, from business partners, from the community. You know, we've been supporting a lot of young artists as well who, at this point of time, you know, don't have venues to play. So we support them by giving them studio hours and connecting them with producers. So yeah, you know, I think that's probably my favorite part of the year.
If you had to do a quick do-over, like what one thing would you do faster or do different?
Do faster. I think if I had to do something over, I don't think I would have done a live show, a live stream show. Because
Right.
I feel like for me personally, like live stream concerts are a temporary measure while everyone is waiting for it to go back. Because the truth is, you know, I mean, just assuming that everything goes well historically, you know, whenever there's a pandemic, like things do recover. Yeah, you know, people would want to do live shows again. So now there's a lot of investment. A lot of people are investing a lot of time and money and effort into doing the best form of live show. But even Culture Cartel, sorry. Like, yeah, you know, we want to do this live. You know, I was here last year when it was live, and it was a different energy altogether.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Live energy.
Everyone's just waiting at this point in time.
Exactly.
It can't be replaced, and I'm sure that everyone on this panel can completely agree that that's something that's irreplaceable. That's something that we're going to have to definitely work back toward. But for right now, I guess we're going to play the cards that we've been dealt, right? So Zaran, you mentioned that last year you put up 200 shows. This year it was 2 shows, specifically for, well, you know, COVID, right?
Yeah, of course.
For 222 Arts Club in particular, you were supposed to have like a real bumper year with the opening party, with all the incredible lineup that you had on the docket.
You're just breaking my heart.
Oh, bless. But I think it'd be
Yeah,
it's a great thing because you've managed to do so much, right? But what was your thought process when you were changing plans, when you were going back to your skeleton crew, for instance? And tell us a little bit about Selects.
Okay, so Selects came and went very fast,
Right.
but it was an alcohol delivery company. So, you know, we had staff and we wanted to use them, right? And obviously we're not running any concerts, so we had a good marketing team, right? And our marketing team was able to market like products quickly. And we decided, okay, everyone's going to be at home, everyone's going to be a bit upset. Why not have it like, deliver them drinks, right? And it worked really, really well, to be honest, right, for the first 2 months. And then when we went back into phase one and we were people out to go to restaurants and stuff like that, it stopped working. So we just decided to cut it. And, like John said something like before, which is good. It's like we shouldn't rush into things. I think, we were just trying to fix everything. Everything we're doing is like fix. Like we have to do this, we have to do live streams, we have to do whatever. But actually, this is like such a great moment to pause, right, and like reflect of like what we actually want to do with our lives, right? And I think like with us, we're at a point where we've had a career, right? What's next, right? And that's what's exciting about this point, we've rejigged a lot of things, and we're really excited about next year if next year happens, right? If it happens, if it's all still here,
Whether we like it or not.
But like look, we're excited because we were running, right? We're doing 200 shows, like flying everywhere, trying to do everything, trying to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But like bigger is not necessarily better, right? And I think that's the learning that we took away. It's like next year we want to do more quality, right? We want to like focus down on artists that we want to work with like long term instead of booking one show and then like passing them on, right? So we want to kind of work, like get the Asian kind of music scene working together as much as possible, not against each other, right? That's the whole point of Collective Minds. But like we kind of lost track of that a little bit, like to be honest. Right, but now we're just speaking to all the promoters, we're speaking to all the venues, being like, how do we work together to make sure this comes back in a real way, right? Because like if we don't do that, it's just like everyone's going to work against each other, everyone's going to fight for the same artist, right? Fees are going to go up, 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 and up, and it's going to burst again, right? And then it was a bad business as it is, right? Like lots of us are doing this for like passion, not money, right? Right?
You know this. So true.
It's a hard business, and the margins are very low. But like, I think the thing is that we all fight against each other when it comes back and oversaturate, right? It's just not going to work, right? And I think we have to focus on doing this together, right? And
Picking up on that point of building community, have you found that challenging, considering, as you said, a lot of people are habitually used to playing one person against the other rather than pulling in the same direction? How do you go about building that sort of community?
I mean, I just do as many of the shows as possible, right? My whole thing with what we did, we wanted to flood the market with concerts, right? We don't want to step on anyone's toes, but all we wanted to do is make sure like going to a concert is like going to dinner, right? Going to a concert is like $40-50, like going to dinner is $40-50, right? Like they shouldn't be a thought process. Why is it like people's like, oh, I don't want to spend $40 on that. Oh, it's too expensive, right? But go to Hai Di Lao, you can spend $100 like easy, right? Yeah. And it just like we have that mindset wasn't here or like around Asia. It's in London, it's in Paris, it's in New York. People just buy tickets like constantly, right? So that's what we wanted to change the mindset, right? And just do it in that way.
Very nice. So thank you for bringing us through the mindset of a smaller venue, zipping over to a larger venue. So Zouk is a household name. I know that's the first place I went clubbing. Daphne, John, I'm sure
that was legal.
There you go.
And I wasn't
Legal, right?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
I went for the Zouk underage party.
Oh, yeah, okay. That was legal too, I think.
That was legal, so like we were
what they
all
called it.
above board, right? But basically, you're part of an institution within this country for such a long time, and its union with the Genting Group to set up such massively high expectations about the future that was to come. So as a more established venue, how did you navigate the clubbers' expectations amid coronavirus? And tell us more about all the exciting things that you guys have pivoted to. You were talking to me just now about Absolute Cycle and Zouk Cinema Club and Capital Kitchen. Details, please.
It's still like the venue, right?
It is still, hopefully. Yeah. I mean, it was really tough for us, right? Like Zoran said, I mean, from like, we were doing like a traffic of 2,000 people coming through the club, various rooms, to like basically zero. And obviously nightlife was the first industry to be hit. Even before like I think circuit breaker kicked in, they shut us down like a week and a half in March. It's been tough. I think at first we were all like everyone else, government relief was coming in, let's just sit back and wait out. But we did start to move all our music content online. Made my poor DJs, every day just stream from home. The guy had to like go and clean up his room.
Oh my God.
Yes.
My DJs, Lynette, he had to go and like.
You're gonna call him out? You're gonna call him out like that?
Yeah, I love the guy a lot, but the poor guy it was such effort to just make his place. I think a lot of DJs and musicians made their rooms look really nice.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, during this period of time.
Sure.
You have to put in some effort.
Yeah, appearing on screen, So we moved music content online. I think that was the start. And obviously we had to get our bartenders, for example, to kind of like, rack the brains, come up with some like special local cocktails. Yeah. Which I'm sure I will hope can let you guys try one day. Yeah, soon. Yeah.
That was great.
And that was also done. Yeah.
We're not going to fight that. We're not fighting you at all.
Very little alcohol content. Very yummy. Yeah. So we did that to just survive, right?
It's really selling it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we did it to survive home delivery, like what's around it, in terms of like getting Zouk local cocktails out there to our consumers. So that's how we kind of kept ourselves connected to our audiences. Yeah, but then it came to the point where I think we also went like, what if this would go on for a year?
Yep.
Right? Everyone thought maybe 6 months, October, we'll be back. Right?
Correct.
But it didn't happen that way. So we planned in April, May, sat down with the team, and we decided once phase 2 kicked in, we'll launch a restaurant concept in one of our rooms, Capital, second floor club, about 500 capacity. So we did that, we launched it quick, and then there was the big challenge of the big space that we had, right? Because the rent has to be paid. So we decided to reach out to a partner, Absolute Cycle, because spin classes are all the rage now. I think we also saw like overseas in the States, people were spinning to really loud, energetic music with the lights. So we spoke to these partners, and they came in, thankfully. So we worked out a gym. We converted the Zouk space in the gym. Yeah, the huge gym. You can finally use the lights. You can use the sound. 50 bikes for safety management.
And it's all spaced out.
All spaced out. Yeah. Very energetic crowd. Very nice. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah, we do the classes.
So how many spin classes do you do a week?
I have tried one, and respect to everyone spinning. It's not easy. I going to Bishan Park, riding my bicycle. It's completely different from these people spinning. Okay, I tell you, the music, it's great, the lights are nice, but spinning takes a lot of energy and effort. Half the time, your butt's not even on the seat.
Exactly.
Oh, is that what it is?
So you just bounce up and down.
No
and
wonder
then
I
they've
did
got
not enjoy it.
weights.
And they were all in rhythm, right? So for me, like eye-opening, and like wow, And last but not least, at night, once that is done, we shift the bikes out, corners, we put some finishing back in, and we do a pop-up F&B concept with cinema screenings.
Nice.
So we call it a Zouk Cinema.
Smart. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so we do like
clever.
a curation of old films, like Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, that's
Moulin Rouge and
perfect.
stuff. Yes, Baz Luhrmann. So yeah, so that's how the pivots that we've been working hard to keep ourselves afloat. No more nightlife, no more music, no more musicians, no more DJs.
But Zouk is alive.
Yes.
It'll be fine.
It's like, great pastas. A lot of very, very healthy people, drinking protein shakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Changed a lot. Yeah, spinning.
Spinning, that bit. I think I'll join you at Bishan Park. I've been for a spin class. It won. It completely kicked my butt.
Really, really tough, but respect to the ones doing it. Yeah.
Well, and respect to Zouk for pivoting and giving everyone so many ideas of like how else you can pivot during difficult times. And I'm very aware that this is the first time that we're live streaming. It's something that John said earlier about how we've all like rushed down this live stream avenue. Let's have a quick chat about how live streaming looks in each of the different segments of the music ecosystem. So Daphne, as an artist, like you've really stretched yourself to fit into this push to digitize your art, right? And with venues and borders being closed for the time being to music, how did you get into Twitch DJing?
Wow, where do I begin? So Twitch came up with their sub-program called Twitch Sings, which unfortunately is going to shut down at the end of this year, which is very sad because it's basically karaoke on Twitch. But I think there must have been some, I'm speaking without knowledge of what actually happened, but I feel like because they were very limited to the number of songs that they could, the karaoke versions of songs, and even doing covers of them on YouTube costs money to do if you want to put it up and not get sued.
Yeah.
So I totally understand that, but I guess it started with Twitch Sing. So they emailed me and they were like, we will give you affiliate if you just start doing it on Twitch.
Yeah.
So I signed up for an account and I started doing Twitch Sings. And karaoke is really like not my thing. I think, have we ever gone karaoke?
No.
Have we gone karaoke?
No, we did for your birthday.
Okay.
Yes.
Not really.
Ish. It was, it had a screen with words.
Yeah. And but it's not really my thing. So I did it for a while, and I actually do it sometimes because you meet really interesting people on Twitch. So someone came on and asked me to duet with him, and it turns out he's a spoken word artist. So instead of him singing the song, he started talking, like spewing poetry in the middle of the song, and I was so touched by it. So it does surprise me sometimes. So I do like to hop on and try and do it every now and then. But I think what I wanted to do was be a DJ, since everyone's a DJ now, and I have pink hair, so I mean, what else?
Please see above.
But I've tried my hand at it, and I'm obviously haven't mastered it. I met DJ Koflo, who like just just was like, please, you're just a child with a toy. And respectfully, he said it respectfully. He was teaching me how to scratch, and I was like, I don't know, this is worse than any instrument I've ever picked up in my life. And I'm typically good with instruments, so it was very frustrating, and I'm still learning how to do it. But yeah, I think, and I've always kind of been a tech geek. I used to game a lot in secondary school, Half-Life, CS. Yes.
And you built your own computers, didn't
And
you?
no, a long time ago, and I can't really take credit for it because someone helped me, which I still need help with. But yeah, so that's kind of been, I've been trying really hard to just adapt. But I've always done that, you know, like with whatever sphere I have, and I do love technology and all that, so I try to keep in the flow, and I love performing, so when that shut down, it's kind of where I could go.
So picking up on something that you said about how it cost a lot to try and get these things going, and how, John, you were saying that there were a lot of cost factors involved in just putting your art online. It's not as simple as all of that. I noticed that your Zendel at Home series that you did during the circuit breaker, that was NAC funded, the National Arts Council. How do you plan to help the artists on your roster grow in a post-COVID world, if we get to a post-COVID world?
We're going to get there.
Why is everyone so like negative right now?
Well, we just want to be careful because we thought it'd be all over by October, and then this isn't SARS, guys. It's sticking around. So how do you think we're going to navigate this for the people on your roster with possibly smaller government funding?
I think at the end of the day, like in Singapore, we're very fortunate to have funding for our cultural events in the first place. You know, whether it's rental, whether it's even like the DPG grant, you know, I think in general we're very lucky compared to some of our neighboring countries as well. So I think with regards to helping smaller artists, I think it's more teaching them how to fish rather than fishing for them. You know, I think in Singapore we have this concept, like this idea that we can't just rely on the government money to pursue our arts career, you know, or music or any form of entertainment. You know, they have to be able to figure out their own business model, you know, their own revenue model, and they have to run it like an artist entrepreneur. So I think in general, what Zendel tries to do is that we try to provide as many services as we can to support them. But at the end of the day, you know, we don't sign them to lock them in for 3-5 years, you know, just to keep them in terms of time, but we want them to be as efficient as possible. So yeah, you know, I think in general, it's just helping them to figure out what their own revenue model is.
And because this is just jumping off like the sharing about how live streaming and how you need to be independent, we're going to pick something that Wayne set up. You said it was really dark and depressing, right? What we're talking about, how we don't think that COVID's ending. So in my final minute that I have with all of you, in 10 words or less, hopes for the new year for your sector of the ecosystem. Zarin, go.
I just hope everything gets back to normal. I just wish we just can go back to normal, go see concerts, go see our friends, like go see our families that we haven't seen. I haven't seen my girlfriend in 10 months.
Oh no.
Right? But that's it, just go back to normal, right? And I think, you know, what is normal, right? That's the next question, right? So there's going to be a period where we think it's like a little bit normal, like we're living lives now basically with like dinners and stuff like that, but we're not living a normal life, right? So we can just go watch concerts, go to clubs, like enjoy ourselves and see our families. I think that's what I'd like to see.
That's 10 times 10 words, Zarin.
Sorry.
Okay, Wayne, in 10 words or less,
10
your
words.
hopeful words for the future as we wrap up.
10 words, that's tough. But I mean, right now, just obviously, I want things to be better.
Yes.
With normal, but I just want to also just give everyone a pat on the back in the world, around here as well, for surviving this. Because
Yes.
I mean, 2020, it will go into the history books, the dinosaurs and like World War II, man. Yeah, it is something, and everyone should give themselves a pat on the back when we do get back there. And
Good job, us.
Yeah, thumbs up to the world and all human race, yeah? And yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Thank you, Wayne. Daphne, 10 words or less, something positive and hopeful for everyone.
I want to say keep making music, or keep doing what it is you love. Like, don't give up.
John, go.
We go and party again once this is over.
Yes! And that's on that very, very hopeful note. Thank you so much for joining us on this, our first panel. We had a really quick sprint through the storied lives of the four people that you see beside me. We've discussed shifts in consumer behavior in the music ecosystem. We've talked about successes and failures in coping and adapting. We've heard what they are hoping for in 10 words, or 10 times 10 words, or less. So follow everyone online. It's Z-Man HK, it's Wayne's World, it's Haneri, it's John Chwar JX, and I am at Audrey is Audrey. Stay tuned for Grand Raffle number 3 and your Levi's DIY workshop coming up after the break. It's back to Carla D.
Thanks so much, guys. That was awesome, very inspiring. I know people can't clap for you, but I clap for you. I know everybody who's behind here, behind all the cameras, they were super, super inspired. I think it's beautiful. I think we definitely will party again at some point, pop some bottles in the club, you know, with social distancing. You know, we're like cheers from far away. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much to Zarin, to John, to Wayne, Daphne, Audrey. Thank you for moderating that. Give it up for them, guys. They're awesome. They're super, super inspiring. Follow them. Keep track of all the wonderful things that they're doing. And yes, this too shall pass. Now, guys, coming up at 3 p.m., we also have an exclusive drop of Air Jordan 4 Retro SE, Sashiko, and more. Make sure you guys check out the LE Air booth, which is happening at our Culture Cartel Marketplace. Marketplace? What the hell is that? Or head on over to our @limiteded_SG to get live updates on the drop schedules and, of course, mechanisms. Now, we're about to go for a little break because obviously we have to reset and get new and exciting things ready for you guys. Do hang around and continue to check out all of our booths over at our virtual marketplace. We've got the Brown Buffalo booth, which features its newly launched campaign, Back to the Origin, which is the creative director Fabio Panzeri's way of taking a step in the current climate and stripping away the layers that the fashion industries had abided to like a religion with a clear message to start again in a new world. Wow, I love this. My goodness, you should get me as your spokesperson. I feel so fancy saying that. Now, this campaign is multifaceted, multidimensional exploration of 3 key aspects, which are the product, the environment, and the customer. This season represents an evolution of classic elements revisited, resulting in well thought out details and a crafting of au-courant silhouettes paired with innovative constructions. Make sure you guys check out the hashtags Back to the Origin and Brown Buffalo. If you're tagging anything, make sure you tag us as well. Now, right after the break, we are coming back with our grand draw raffle number 3. More exciting things to give away. Remember, you can get your raffle tickets all the way till 7:45 p.m. today. Each ticket costs you $2, and you can get as many tickets as you want. I've just been briefed. I think there may be a little bit of a confusion a little bit earlier on. We did say you can buy as many raffle tickets as you want, and that is true. That is absolutely true. I think the confusion lies is when you buy multiple tickets, you may realize that you are only generated one raffle number. That is correct. So that raffle number will be multiplied by the number of times that you buy your ticket for, okay? So you can win multiple times. So if you are watching and if you happen to see the same person win again in another raffle, it's correct. It means that they've bought multiple raffle tickets, okay? So that's how it works. If you buy 50 raffle tickets, we're not going to give you 50 raffle numbers. That's just going to be way too confusing for you to keep up with, so just look out for your one number. Got it? Cool. Moving on. Here we go. There is no limit, like I said, to the number of raffle tickets. They are on sale till 7:45 p.m. today. Now, where can you buy the tickets? You can go to the Join Raffle button on our homepage, or you guys can go directly to www.klook.com and search for Culture Cartel Digital 2020. Make sure you guys also shop for limited edition CC collab merchandise on our Lazada SG flagship store. That's going to be on sale all day, all night. Now, meanwhile, do continue to tag us in all of your posts and stories. We've been getting great content so far. We'd love to continue seeing it. I know lots of people have been tagging me in the raffles. They're like crossing their fingers, hoping they're winning, and there's me just like making a mess on screen. But good luck to everybody who's joining the raffles. Tag us, okay? Hashtag Culture Cartel 2020 is coming back right after this break.